I'm extremely overwhelmed because every single book I've been waiting for the library all became available at the exact same time, so we have to go through as many of them as possible before they get returned. This is going to be the most random assortment of books ever because I'm using my library for certain things, either for new releases because I unfortunately cannot buy every single one of them. I also like to use it to give authors or series a second chance, or even to just try things that are a bit more outside my comfort zone. So it can be a bit more hit and miss, but because they are from the library, I can just return them very easily. So let's get to it because again, I have only a week to try to go through like 12 books. That's definitely not happening. But as many of them as we can, and I think I'm going to start with The Ending Writes Itself because this was co-written, this is a pen name, it's co-written by V.E. Schwab, and I don't think I've read any murder mysteries written by her, so I'm really curious to see why it's been getting such mixed reviews. The overall rating is not super high, and I have really enjoyed her fantasy books, so I wanted to see what's wrong with it, or maybe I completely disagree with everyone else, but I am a sucker for a lockroom murder mystery, so let's see what's going on with that one. Let's talk because I have finished The End Writes Itself and I have opinions. Like I mentioned in the intro, it is a lockroom murder mystery, which I'm a big fan of, and I thought the setting was good and the premise was intriguing. You have this really famous kind of investigation author, and he is about to end the last book of his most famous series when 6 authors get the chance to go to his home, this remote island, and be the chosen person that will write the ending of his last book. So they're all like mid-list kind of authors, not enough to really make enough money to make a living. So they're kind of in that place where they don't know, like, is it worth continuing writing? Am I gonna ever become really popular? While I was reading it, at one point I started second guessing myself because I had mentioned I wanted to read the book and I had said that, again, lockroom murder mystery, and that they start dying one by one. And by the midpoint, I was like, nobody's dying. Maybe I've been lying to everyone for the last couple of weeks. But eventually things pick up. So like I was mentioning, I did enjoy the overall setting because remote island, kind of rainy, foggy, surrounded by books, people that love talking about books, they write them, and the house kind of a bit mysterious since they don't know it. There's a bit more to it, but I don't want to spoil anything. I will just say that I got to the end. I did guess who was doing it. I'm not going to spoil it, but I got to the end and I hated the ending, which I feel like I never say that. Like I might be like, oh, you know, it wasn't my favorite. I can see why someone would enjoy it, or I wish they had done this or that. No, I straight up hated the ending. I was so surprised. I shouldn't have, because I had seen that it had been receiving mixed ratings, but I just straight up did not like it. And I felt like the authors, because again, it's co-written, and I felt like they were kind of mentioning their own thoughts about the publishing industry, which is totally fine, but I kind of just didn't love it. So unfortunately for me, this is going to be a 2-star, like maybe 2.5, either way. I'm going to round it down to a 2. And it feels really harsh, but at the same time, like the setting was fine, and then my interest went lower and lower. Again, questioning myself midpoint, like, are people going to start dying? And yeah, you get to the end and it just wasn't something I enjoyed. So don't say that super often, but either way, it was from the library, so it went back. We're okay. I didn't spend my own money on this, but I thought I should pick a second book right now. There are a couple, like I was mentioning, that I'm not sure they're going to be for me. I'm just kind of curious. So let's try some of those right now. I have some time to read and we'll see if I want to actually finish them. Let's start with The Compound. I think I had seen it in the sci-fi list. Was it the Goodreads Choice Award of last year? Something like that. And you're following a character who is, the setting is like a dating show, think Love Island. So I haven't read one book so far with that kind of setting that has worked for me. To be fair, I've probably only read like 2, maybe 3. So we'll see if that works for me or not. I feel like there's a chance to make some really interesting social commentaries, but it will depend on how it goes. So let's try it. Okay, so I read the first chapter. So I'm like 7% into it, and I am gonna not continue. Again, I had seen it having like mixed reviews. I had mentioned I wanted to read it, and a few people told me that they didn't really care for it, but I'm curious. It's from a library. Yeah, first chapter, 7%. I just really don't like the narration. Like nothing really has happened. It's just the main character woke up in there, which again is different from actual reality shows. So she wakes up there, she's starting to find the different contestants, and I just really don't like the writing. So you know what? I'm not feeling it. I'm not going to force it. We're going to try something else. Let's try a good person, because the premise sounded intriguing. You follow a character who will be hexing her situationship. I think this one is more literary fiction, and I've been wanting to try more of them. So let's see. Okay, I am currently in middle chapter 2, 3. There's a prologue, so whatever. And I don't know if I want to continue. I actually want feedback. I have a lot of thoughts for very few pages, but 6% into it, and I need to just rant. I want to start by saying I really love the writing. So if you have any recommendations for more literary fiction, please let me know. Or tell me if the things that are bugging me right now are going to be a problem or not. If they're not, I'm just going to borrow it again later on from the library. So the prologue, right up my alley. Following character when she was younger. There's a school trip, they go to the zoo, and there's a girl that, you know, kind of mean girl, is she may have tried to push her in the animal enclosure. You know, it sounds really, again, like the intriguing premise that supporting women's right, but also women's wrongs, especially. So that's definitely the kind of books that I enjoy, kind of female rage, female revenge, or, you know, I'm all for those stories, and I want to hear more. When the actual story starts, it loses me pretty quickly. You're starting with her being at work, and again, I've read a couple literary fiction where you follow a female character who feels like her job is kind of pointless. It's kind of like depressed literary fiction, that category. I've enjoyed some of them, but quickly it gets into the situationship, which I should have known, because again, that was the premise, but I thought it was going to be more witchy than how it's going right now. She's basically lying to him, like she's not telling him that it's her birthday. She's trying to play it very cool. They've been seeing each other for 4 months, which is long for her, and he's always late, disrespectful, like he arrives kind of late again for her birthday, doesn't know it's her birthday, right away wants to have sex. Anyway, I got the ick very strongly, and I kind of just need to rant in general. I don't know if it's relatable or not, but I feel like I get the ick so strongly. I feel it's almost triggering, okay? Because of real life. I'm at the point where I've had to distance myself from some friends or have some very strict conversation because I just cannot hear it anymore. Like, you get into a situationship and it's clearly not good for you, and then you come to me for comfort, for emotional support. I'm giving you that emotional labor, and then you feel good enough, comforted enough that you go back, you don't address it, or worse, you tell him what I've said, and now I have beef with this random, disrespectful, grown-ass man. I cannot be that person anymore. I'm too old for this, like, please. How many times can I have that exact same conversation that, like, if you spent half the time, mental energy you spent on these random men, in a couple weeks, you would look back and wonder what the f you were thinking. Like, he's no one, he's not bringing anything to you. Focus on you for like 5 seconds, please. I just... This is what I mean, but I'm finding this so triggering. I'm too old. Like, I cannot deal with this anymore. And just reading it pisses me off because, girl, please stand up. Like, no. This is where I'm saying if it gets better really quickly, like it starts with the witchy part of like hexing him and like she moves on very quickly and it gets good. Body's literally sneezing these out. Listen, if really quickly gets better and becomes more the witchy, hexing, blah, 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 let me know. But it felt like it was going to be like that for longer, and I can't do it anymore. I feel like it's definitely a genre that is popular. I don't know if women find it relatable or something, but I just get the ick. I've read so many books. I've attempted to read so many books like that. I'll put them on the screen. I feel like I've seen them a lot being like, oh, if you enjoyed Fleabag, the TV show, you're gonna enjoy those. And it made me realize that we don't like Fleabag for the same reasons. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Do be warned, it starts pretty intense, but it's worth it. I feel like a lot of people enjoy the series because they like the sexy priest in season 2. And don't get me wrong, I like him too. I think it's interesting in the story, but it's not in my maybe top 5 reasons I like the show. And I feel like if it's your number 1 reason, you like these books. And I'm saying that with no judgment. It's just like, I feel like it would be true. And for me, the top number 1 reason I like Fleabag is her relationship between like Fleabag and her sister Claire. That's my number one reason. So yeah, I feel like that's the best way I can explain it. If that's your vibe, you know it's your vibe. And I wish I could just find books that have this kind of writing, but not about that story. So again, I knew what I was getting into. I knew the situationship was the thing. I just thought it was going to be fun right away. And I just got the ick so strongly, could not even finish the chapter. I'm 6% into it and it's just, I can't do it. So note to self, do want to read more literary fiction. It's my accent, I promise. But I need to just make sure it's not that kind because I cannot do it. I just can't. So I think that I'm gonna go and play it safe for the next one because I want to actually finish one or a second one in this video. I mean, 2 that I'm getting rid of. I mean, it's good. I'm going through the books, returning them to the library, costed me nothing. But I think I'm gonna go with, let's see, what do I have that I want to read? Ooh, I think I'm gonna go Every Summer After, which I'm going to the beach tomorrow because they're announcing some sun. It's been raining literally every day for the last, I don't know. But yeah, I think that would be a really good beach read. I haven't tried anything by Carly Fortune, but I've seen her books everywhere and they scream summer beach read. Like for me, a beach read can be like either contemporary romance, which again, I don't read a ton of those, but that screams beach read to me, or even like cozy murder mysteries. I was going to just say mysteries, but apparently murder mysteries, that also counts as cozy to me. Sometimes it does, okay? Like Small Town in England, absolutely. So yeah, I think this could be a really good beach read. I only worry about it reading young, but I think there's 2 timelines, so it might be totally fine. So I'm gonna try that and I'm gonna keep you posted. I mean, my goal is to go through so many of these and just seeing if they're going to work for me, so low expectations. But we have a list to go through. Charlie, what are you doing? What is that position? That is just ridiculous. I love it. Are you comfortable? Time for a little FaceTime session. Let's talk about a book because I finished one. You can see I got a ton of color at the beach. How has your summer been? I feel like I'm from Quebec, Canada, right? And we are well known for complaining about the weather all the time. And I feel like it's an unfair label because if you were in our shoes, you would get it because we get horrible winters. It's like -20, -40. And then that lasts like 6 months. And then right away, spring and fall, 2 weeks. And then we started hot, humid, disgusting summer. And it's been raining a ton too. It's just been unlivable. Like we've already had multiple days that it was like 40 plus with Celsius, with the humidity. Just straight up disgusting. Anyway, so you go to the beach, you get a little wind because you're closer to the water, but my gosh, you just stay hidden because, ugh. Anyway, sunscreen or not, I'm getting so light. I literally had to go and get a lighter shade than I was wearing this winter. What's going on? Anyway, the actual reason for this video, Every Summer After, did finish it. It was, until the end, exactly what I expected it to be. Like, I was glad that during the present time, she was 30, 29, 30. Cool. And then you get the flashbacks. And yeah, it's, you know, first love story, summer vibes, kind of YA at times because of the flashbacks that start when she's 13. But it was kind of the cheesy stuff I expected. And then, so let me start with the premise. So when she is 13, her parents buy this cottage. And their neighbors are 2 boys that are 13 and 15. And then every summer, she spends the summer there. They become best friends and, you know, continues every summer until she's 18. So in the present time, you know that when she was 18, 12 years ago, something happened because they're not in each other's life anymore. And like the more the story advances, the more you kind of see them falling in love when they're young. And I'm not going to tell you the present time what's going on because I feel like it's a spoiler. And yeah, you just know they don't talk. And you finally get to the moment that something happens that changes everything. And it's not even that, like, it's crazy or you don't suspect it or whatever. It's just that, once again, I hated it. I feel like I never say that, and now I have two books in the same vlog that I hated the ending, and I feel like there was another one last week, which again, I feel like it might happen like one book per year, and now I have three in the same month. I don't know what's going on. Again, I'm using my library, so it's more prone to happen, I guess, but I can happily discuss the spoilers once again in the comment section. I just don't want to ruin it since it's a really popular author. I think this is her first book, because I had another book by her on my waiting list and I was told to try this one instead. And yes, this is the first book in kind of a companion series, so I agree this was better to start with. But yes, I feel like I can't really. Can you mute me for 2 seconds? I'm gonna be kind of vague, but it has to be said. I feel like if you were to reverse the roles, I would be pissed, and it's true. Like, I would be. So I just cannot agree with the decisions that were made. It just changed my views of that character, and I just can't move past it. So yeah, for the first, 3/4 of it, I was like, this is cute. This is just, like a 3.5 star. I was overall enjoying myself. This was, again, a beach read. For me, a beach read is something that, like, you don't have to overly think about, like, whether it's like a mystery or contemporary. Like, I don't have to be super invested. I can easily put it down, but it's still just entertaining. And this was doing it. And I was, planning on reading more by her. But then that decision at the end just really ruined my enjoyment. And I think I'm going to give it 2.5, 2. Yeah. I had such strong opinion that I went and checked reviews, which I almost never do before I do my own portion of the review, because I don't want it to affect my opinions too much. And I had to confirm that I wasn't the only one that was annoyed, because again, the reviews that I've seen, it's so divided. Either people give it like 4 or 5 star, they love it, or 1 or 2 star, they hated exactly the same thing I hated. So I felt relieved. If you also didn't enjoy the ending, you are not alone. But yeah, it just, I don't know. Like, luckily, I wasn't reading that at the beach. I was done with the beach. I come here and I read it. I was like, ugh, really? Anyway, I do have time to start something else. So I think I'm going to give a shot to specifically Glorious Exploits, I think. Because I know it's outside my comfort zone. I'm just really curious, because I had heard people say, I saw it, this was on the list of the most popular books of 2026 so far, according to Goodreads. And I went through that list and I gave reviews of every single one I had read, which was a lot of them. But this one I was intrigued because it has really high ratings and it's more like historical fiction, but also kind of satire, I think. Anyway, I wanted to give it a shot. It sounds kind of strange and I have a strong feeling it's not going to be for me, but I'm curious. I have it. The library has it. It's available now, so we're going to give it a shot and maybe I'll finish it. Or maybe not. I am 11% into it. And that's like, what, 2? I think I'm at the 3rd chapter. I am glad I gave it a shot, actually, because I was so intrigued and understood nothing about the description from what I had read. But it's meant to be absurd. I think satire. I think it's absurd. And that's the point. That's the humor. But I don't think it's going to be for me. I'm keeping it in my back pocket because I might give it more of a shot, because 11% is not super far. But again, I'm intrigued. I had taken notes of the names because it's set like in the 400 BCs. But it's set with like the Greek. You're following. There's been a battle between Athenians and what was it? Syracuse, I think. Anyway, between these two people, Athenians are the ones that are dying in this giant pit because like they're injured and they are just there until they die of thirst or their injuries. Anyway, and you're following two main characters who are walking around that pit trying to figure out who they can make them play a play that they love. So they're asking them, do you know that play? Do they look like the characters? And then they're like, if you do, we're going to give you some water, some olives. Like, it's just so weird. The whole premise is just so strange. But I understand that people that it's their sense of humor, they're going to love this. So I get it, but I don't think it's for me. Again, I'm keeping it in my back pocket. I might give it more of a shot just to see. But I was curious. And again, that's what the library is for. But now I feel like I need one good book because I technically haven't liked anything this week, which is just so unexpected. This is really not how I thought this vlog was going to go. But at the same time, it's low expectations because the library, and I want to support my library. So I thought this sounded like a really good idea because it would be like the weirdest mix of books in one video, and maybe it wasn't that good. It's not going the way I expected. So we need one good one. So let me see, what options do I have? Because I still have so many that are available now. And I'm going to have to pause some because otherwise they're going to be canceled. And I don't want that. So what would fit with these other books? Oh, I could give a series a second chance. I think that's a good idea. I do have On the Calculation of Volume number 2. So this is a series. The reason, okay, I do own book 1. The premise was interesting because there's a time loop. I'm a sucker for those. And in the first book, specifically, the main character is a book reseller. Like, she has clients that are rich that they're looking for like these special editions and everything. That's what she does with her husband. And on the day where it happens, I think she was traveling to somewhere in France, and she keeps reliving that same day in November. I don't remember how long it lasted for the first book, but this is going to be a 7-book series, which is kind of crazy. But I think that in my head, even though I had enjoyed book 1, I just felt like, why are we ending here if it's going to be 7 books? Why 7? Maybe there's an explanation somewhere. But I get sometimes the point where small books feel less worth it than big books. To me, like spending the actual money. Anybody else? Because you get less. Even if maybe the small books is like a higher rating than a big one, I don't know. It feels like not enough. Because I didn't give it like 5-star, I'm going to get it from the library and I'll decide what I do for the rest of the series. So that's why for that case, it's like giving it a second shot to the series. But yeah, I need to know if we're going to get more info about the time loop thing. And I need to look up why 7 books because it's so random. But time loop, I'm a sucker. Not much had happened in the first one. It felt very like literary fiction. It's also translation, which I said I wanted to read more. I can't remember. Is she Norwegian? Something like that. But yes, this is going to be the next one, and hopefully it's a better one. This one is more like literary fiction and like slower pace, so I might get some substance there. I feel like the few that I did finish, the 2 I finished were lighter, so maybe that's what I need. I mean, to be fair, I've been having an amazing reading year, so if one reading vlog is a flop, it's fine. I feel like it's realistic. I feel like I don't always show you the books that I read, a couple chapters and then give up on, and now you're getting the full details of my week. So tomorrow, I'm starting that next one, and maybe it's my 5-star that will save my week. Not super hopeful, but maybe. What would you do if you were stuck in a time loop? You could do literally anything. Because I feel like I've read so many books with characters either reliving their lives or their day over and over again. I just like time loops. I don't know why. But I find it interesting to see how everyone would react differently. I feel like there are some things that we would all do, right? Freak out a little bit? Yeah, for sure. Trying to figure out what are the limits, if there's anything you have to do to get out of it. But what if it lasts? I guess you could talk to someone else, a close one, your husband or family members, and trying to figure out maybe there's a reason behind it. But after that, what do you do if it keeps going and going and going? I feel like at first it would be really fun because you can read every book you've ever wanted. You can start new hobbies, you can travel, you can learn a language, whatever, like you can do anything. But eventually, I feel like you would get kind of depressed if you're the only person stuck in a time loop. What if you keep getting older? You come back home and you're older than everyone? I would freak out. So that's what, this series is exploring. This is the first book. I want to show you how, it's not long. Why are there going to be 7 books? That's all I can think of, and I haven't even Googled it. I did Google the author, and I was wrong. She's from Denmark, not... See, in my defense in the back, it's because it mentioned Norwegian authors. It's the translation. Either way, Danish. But yeah, I had enjoyed book 1. I just wanted to see what would happen with the rest of the series. Again, that's why I was using my library for giving the series a second chance, and I am so torn because the kind of narration that is like stream of consciousness, very character driven, makes sense with a lot of stories, and sometimes it works for me, sometimes it makes me feel emotionally detached from the narration, the main character. Sometimes it's obviously on purpose, but it doesn't mean I'm enjoying it. Like earlier this year, I read At the End of the Day, I think, by Claire North, which Charlie works for death. So it makes sense with the narration, and I feel like that's her style usually in all of her books, but I feel like it really suits the situation. And in this case, again, in theory, it suits the situation perfectly, but I'm just not that interested in her thoughts, what she chooses to do, and like where is it going. I don't want to, like, I mean, spoilers, I don't think anything would be a spoiler in here because not much happens, but she's stuck in that situation for so long. And like, let me see, how long is it in the first book? Again, I don't want to spoil it, but like it keeps going and going. That's kind of the point. Yeah, okay. I don't remember if I had said that previously, but it's like almost a year for like the first book. So like it lasts for a while. And again, if it's going to be 7 books, is it going to be 7 years? Is it going to be, you know, her whole life? Which I guess is the point of the whole series. So I might Google the ending of the series whenever it's done, but I don't think I'm invested enough to continue, at least as of now. If you have continued, please feel free to convince me otherwise, but I think I'm just gonna give it a 3. It's not a bad book, I just don't think I am the target audience, which makes this vlog kind of a mess, but honestly, if anything, it proves that my instinct was right to use my library for all of these books. Some of them I just wanted to try them, right? I was curious, I satisfied that curiosity, and other books I wasn't sure they were going to be for me, they were a little outside my comfort zone, so me not giving any of these 5-star, which you don't need to do to get something out of a book, but me not giving 5-star to any of them proves that my instinct is right. So if anything, this worked out just fine for me. I did try 6 books, finished 3 this week out of the, I don't even know how many. I really still need to catch up, but I'm ending this here because next week I have to start fresh. I'm starting a new Regional Holiday, and it's a special edition that I'm really excited for. I don't know if you can hear it, but for once it's Chunky crying. Let me grab him. It's morning. We were cuddling and I had to push him off, which is basically illegal, but I had to go to the bathroom. Poor baby. You cannot go anywhere near. There is the painting stuff on the floor and a puzzle, and I don't want you to go and destroy them. But yes, I did an offense, something illegal. If my videos are ever late, you know, just know that it's because of one of these. I swear the second I sit down to edit a video, they just fight to come and cuddle. And like, I can't. I wish you could hear him purring right now. But yeah, we were cuddling. Anyway, that's it for the video. Successful in one way, I guess. And I'll put more videos on the screen and I will go finish editing this video so it can go up. Thank you, Chunk. Oh, he's purring so loud. Let me bring him. Yeah.